Yeah,
Ryan Jeffers hits that home run, first at bat off Carlos Rodon. And, they're
that was it.
celebrating with their home run sausage and they're all excited. And as you said, nothing from that point on. I think they said the last time a stretch like this happened was 1991, which is kind of amusing because 1991 was not a good year, but
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 with any winning $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. With me, as always, is my co-host, Brian McKeon. Brian, the Yankees swept the Twins. What a shocking development.
If you're riding Yankee starters on FanDuel, you're making a lot of money this weekend.
My goodness. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on whichever podcasting platform you prefer. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, like the videos, hit the bell so you're notified when our videos go live. And coming up on the show, it's Fanmail Friday. We'll be answering your questions. We'll also preview the upcoming series against the White Sox, which starts tonight. But first, we have to talk about Clarke Schmidt, because what a performance by him on Thursday.
Surprisingly, the best of the weekend, right? And we had tremendous pitching. They went, 30-something innings straight without giving up a run. You give up one run, excuse me, at the start of the first game of the series, and you didn't give up a run since. I mean, they were that good.
Yeah, they were that good. Batter.
Honestly, in my lifetime, I can't think of a better series of pitching the Yankees have had. Honestly, they looked that good. And again, we keep saying, without Gerrit Cole, this was all done. Gerrit Cole wasn't involved in this, and the bullpen was barely involved in this. It was really starters. And surprisingly, if you would have lined up all these pitchers at the start of the series, I would have not told you that Clarke Schmidt was going to have the best start out of all these guys. And he's pitched well lately, but 8 innings, no runs. I mean, 8 strikeouts. A guy who's not really a strikeout specialist, striking out 8
against no walks.
And you've said it too. Not a bad offense. Minnesota's not a bad team.
No.
So you went out there and you enforced your will on a good Minnesota Twin team. Really, really, really impressive stuff out of them.
Well, here's the thing. Minnesota was 17 for their last 20 heading into the series.
Yeah.
Ryan Jeffers hits that home run, first at bat off Carlos Rodon. And, they're celebrating with their home run sausage and they're all excited. And as you said, nothing from that point on. Starters, bullpen, nothing. Unreal. I haven't seen a pitching performance like that from the Yankees. I think they said the last time a stretch like this happened was 1991, which is kind of amusing because 1991 was not a good year, but
but all of those teams with great rotations didn't do this. I mean, there was never a series where you had CC and Burnett follow each other and where they did this. I mean, think about the good rotations that the Yankees have had over the years. You never had this. I can't express really into words of how impressed I am with them. And Schmidt did this on not adjusting a lot of pitches either. They have really, him and Rodon have both worked off this 2-pitch format really well this year, which is impressive. I mean, you wrote it here, 50 cutters, 20 knuckleballs, 19 sweepers. That's really it. I mean, he throws 12 sinkers, 2 changeups. That's right. I mean, talk about pitch economy.
What's missing from that list? Because we talked about it in his last start.
Yeah. I mean, the pitch economy is incredible. He's sticking with the cutter, which, I mean, he's learned from a lot of guys in this rotation that have really utilized the cutter a lot. He looked, the pitching staff alone looked unbelievably impressive, but Clarke Schmidt deserves his due because, I mean, coming into this year, all he did was complain about how he wasn't staying long in games. He was throwing a lot of pitches. He was hurting the bullpen, all that. He's become potentially your best starter, right? I mean, he's competing with Rodon for your best starter right now. And when you look at what's going to happen when Cole is out of this rotation, when Cole is back in this rotation, there is not a single guy that can no one can debate Clarke Schmidt needs to be out of this rotation. Nobody could say that. With the way that he finished off last season and the way that he's pitched this year so far, you can't justify taking him out of this rotation.
Right. Okay. Yankees allowing only 3.31 runs per game, which is the fewest in baseball, and 0.16 runs better than the second place Dodgers rotation, which is incredible. The Yankees are now the first AL team to 30 wins. And again, we've said this multiple times. They're doing this without Gerrit Cole. It's just unbelievable what they're doing right now. I will say about the game, it felt over as soon as Volpe hit the home run. It was with the way the series was going. I was like, oh, poor Twins. That's just, yeah.
Did they show in attendance during this game? There couldn't have been anyone there.
There were people there. There were people there.
But how many?
I don't know, but there were. I don't know if it was like a special promotion. I don't know how the school system works in Minnesota. I'm not sure if they're one of those states that ends
every Thursday.
Early. Yeah, no, but I don't know if they end early. Like, I don't know how that goes.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. So the Yankees are now 120-44 against the Twins in the playoffs and regular season since 2002. And this is the 17th time they've swept them, playoffs and regular season included. That is incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Bad if you're the Minnesota Twins. That's horrendous.
True. Okay, well, it's everyone's favorite time of the week. It's Fanmail Friday, and we're actually starting with a question that we've answered, but people don't watch the show every day. They don't listen every day, so we can talk about this again, and we're going to, because as usual, Betty starts us off with our first insider question, and let me put it up on the screen for everyone to read. With conflicting stories on whether or not Heel is on a pitch count, do you think he is? Where do you see him in the rotation when Cole returns?
When Cole returns immediately, I see them going on a 6-man rotation. I don't see anything changing from that. I don't think they're not going to bring Cole back ready to throw 100 pitches. They're going to work him in. Someone gave me a good idea today. Maybe you see Heel on the back end of Cole when he gets back. Like maybe Cole works as an opener and goes maybe 3 innings, and then Heel takes it from there. We'll see. I don't think they do that, but we'll see. They're going to go with a 6-man rotation, though. That's what they're going to go with at the start. I think really what you need to plan for is the month after Gerrit Cole comes back, right? Like what happens in a month from when he comes back. So you're looking at roughly August 1st. What does the rotation look like on that date? Right now, Betty, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, and I know you guys look into us for answers. I don't know. That's the answer I'm going to give you. I don't know what it's going to look like. I'm waiting for someone to get hurt, someone to fall apart, someone to pitch worse. I'm hoping it doesn't happen, but that's what I think the Yankees are secretly hoping for. Or not hoping for, but waiting for. Because I don't see any scenario in which they're going to someone's going to get worse from here.
Right. I would agree with that.
We'll go on to David F. He says, 1 game to win with the current pitching staff. Who do you choose? I like Stroman. I don't.
I don't know. After Thursday's performance, I like Clarke Schmidt, but I think it's Rodon.
I think it's Rodon. The pedigree's there. The Cy Youngs are there. I mean, the history is there with Rodon. If we're talking about guys on the roster, it's obviously Gerrit Cole. But that's who I'm going with at this point. Undercard guy, I guess Clarke Schmidt. Got tough stuff to read. I mean, I'm definitely not going Stroman. Stroman is a perfectionist. He works the count, and I've liked what I've seen out of him. But in a big spot. I'm not looking at Stroman right now. I don't look at him I look at Stroman as a 3, a 2 in really good years. He's not an ace. He's a guy you need on your roster, but he's not an ace. So I'm not going Stroman in a big spot.
I would agree with that. Nothing against him, but out of the pitchers that the Yankees have, there are better choices for the 1-game scenario.
Well put, yeah.
Next question is from Aaron L. How does this year's team feel different from 2022's team? I feel like we're off to a similar start, but I don't want to curse us with an August collapse.
Yeah, I mean...
It wasn't just August, though. It started in July. Like, it really started falling apart in July, but it got really bad in August to where this is the worst August they've had in 30 years. So I think we just look out to see how they do when the dog days of summer begin. Right. And see how things are going. But
I think there's more depth here.
Yeah, there's more depth and the team just feels different to me. Like even on Thursday, Clarke Schmidt's coming out of the game. He has this amazing performance. Who's the first person to greet him out of the dugout? Marcus Stroman.
Yeah.
Walking out and applauding him. And just I love the chemistry of this team. How happy they all were that Glaber got that big home run and now he's starting to get hits. And it's just, there's a different feeling with this team. I can't explain it, but
you've seen it with the comments too, like guys that say in the locker room, there's a family atmosphere in this building. This clubhouse feels different than years past. So, and what does it do for those guys to lie in those scenarios? Right. Nothing. They don't gain anything out of lying in those scenarios. So you got to assume they're telling the truth in those spots, and they are. I mean, there's a different feel around this team. And plus, I mean, little guy named, Juan Soto in right field. That's helping a lot too.
Right. The last team that I can recall where they had a feeling like this, like family, they were close, was 2017. Before that, 2009. Those guys were buddies. They all loved each other. They were going to parties at each other's houses that summer. And
but also that team was organized in the 2008 offseason. They didn't really know each other totally yet. Like this team's got a family atmosphere that's been building for years.
Yeah, but the new guys are contributing to it. Verdugo, Stroman, Soto.
That is very true. But the core has been building since 2018, 2017, since that era.
Okay. That's it for segment 1's questions. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, and hit the notification so you know when our videos go up. And if you want to be part of the next Fanmail Friday, reply to the pinned comment on our videos Monday through Thursday, or you can join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. The link is in the description, and it isn't only for Fanmail Friday. You'll get text from us. You can text us questions. Like I texted something out after Aaron Judge's big game on Wednesday and said, I guess he's back. We'll give you injury updates, roster moves, and more. There's a 14-day free trial. It's a lot of fun. But coming up next, answering more of your questions. Get supplies from the site that's made for the skilled trades, SupplyHouse.com. SupplyHouse.com is the reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your door with fast shipping from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Get expert support and industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business and talk to a real person every time. Pros in the skilled trades can get a competitive edge by joining SupplyHouse.com's free Trade Master program. Every Trade Master gets access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at supplyhouse.com/TM for Trademaster, and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at supplyhouse.com. Welcome back to Locked On Yankees. Make sure you watch Locked On Sports Today, a free 24/7 sports streaming channel programmed for you every day to bring you the biggest sports stories of the day. Locked On Sports Today brings you can't-miss analysis, opinions, and news. Streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV Channels app, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And you can catch the Hometown Yankees broadcast on SiriusXM. Just download the SiriusXM app and search the word Yankees. So we have 2 more insider questions for you. The first one is from JD. I hear there are talks of a Soto deal possibly, but I wonder when the Yankees will entertain extending Volpe. Now, in case no one knows this, because not everyone is online as much as we are, Jack Curry did a podcast with Hal Steinbrenner. Hal Steinbrenner said, yes, we're open to talking to him during the season. Get this done. We want him to be a Yankee for life, blah, blah, blah. But the fact that he's saying that now, I'm kind of like, oh, really? Okay, cool. So what do you think of the Volpe thing?
I would do it now. I don't know if Volpe would be open to that immediately. I feel like guys are starting to learn from the mistakes the Ozzie Albies and the Ronald Acuna Jr.'s of the world have made, right? Mm-hmm. Where you sign these massive extensions that appear massive to a 20-year-old, and then years down the road when you become a stud in the league, it's a bad contract. Right. I think Volpe is turning in that direction of being one of the better young players in the league. And I don't think his agent or himself would really advise either to sign a deal this early on. And it just doesn't make sense at this point.
Right. I would agree with that.
Let's go to Casey. His Fanmail Friday question is, besides watching the Yankees and other sports, what other types of programming do you guys watch? Yeah, I'm boring, dude. I'm sports.
I watch trashy reality shows. Not the trashiest ones, just like the Housewives, Vanderpump Rules, like basically Bravo. I also like watching true crime podcasts on YouTube, anti-MLM videos on YouTube, and Degrassi.
Me and my girlfriend watch Breaking Bad, but I'm boring, dude. Like, I watch, if hockey's not on, it's basketball. If basketball's not on, it's baseball. In the fall, it's all football.
Right.
It's just sports, dude. Like, I'm a boring 20-year-old male.
By the way, when I say Degrassi, I mean every generation of Degrassi, going back to mine in the 80s and going up through the next generation with Drake and the rest of them. So
she's an OG.
Just to clarify that, because I started watching Degrassi on PBS when I was in 8th grade when it first came down from Canada. So I am like a definite OG of that show. All right, next question. YouTube. Thomas Rafferty. I have some opinions about this one. Anthony Volpe bobblehead day is August 11th. He was a rookie last year. Brett Gardner got his bobblehead in 2018 in his 11th year with the team. Kyle Higashioka was a Yankee for 7 years. He never got a bobblehead. Who decides these things?
Did you really need a Kyle Higashioka bobblehead day?
I don't think anyone needed a Kyle Higashioka bobblehead.
No one needed. Kyle Higashioka didn't need a Kyle Higashioka bobblehead. Come on, dude.
But Brett Gardner,
fans loved him.
Yeah, that's. But I think the bobbleheads have really become more prevalent now. Like, it feels like everyone has a bobblehead. Like, they used to be a special thing.
Yeah, now it's everybody gets one.
Years ago, and now everyone has one. My problem with bobbleheads, and I will bring up something that's happening while we're recording this. The Dodgers are playing. They have a Shohei Ohtani bobblehead night. And not only are they giving away him in the home jersey, but they're sprinkling in some bobbleheads of him in the road jersey. So you don't know which one you're going to get. They're giving out 40,000 of them. How many do the Yankees give out every time? 18.
Yeah. And they become valuable.
There's no reason for them to do that little.
People get in there and they pay other fans for their bobblehead. And then they sell them on eBay. You can go on eBay right now and find a Gerrit Cole Star Wars bobblehead for $75. Right. I mean, they become collectibles. Yeah. So I've got a bobblehead collection in my kitchen that I have.
I'm staring at my bobblehead collection right now.
It's a nice thing, but it's become so much more prevalent over the last few years. It really has become crazy.
Yeah, I mean, some of them have become really cool. Like, I like the ones with the bobble arms for guys who are pitchers. I like the Susan and the John one where they were sitting in the booth. That was cool.
I need my guy Emmanuel to get a bobblehead now. I need an Emmanuel Barbari bobblehead.
Scranton did one with Oswald and Oswaldo because they were they're best friends, so they did a double bobblehead with them. But yeah, Kyle Higashioka, no.
Yeah,
Brett
we didn't
Gardner,
need that.
Maybe, but my whole issue is the Yankees could easily do more than 18,000 for a bobblehead night, and it drives me crazy that all their giveaways are only 18,000. You're the richest team in baseball. Spend some money on the stuff for the fans, okay? That's all I have to say.
We're paying
about
enough
that.
money on food and beer anyway, so you can afford a little more bobbleheads.
Yeah.
Hi, Stacey and Brian. This is from ambitious_monk. Hi, Stacey and Brian, me again. You had discussed the past few weeks about how the starters need to go longer, otherwise the bullpen is going to be worn down come July or August. This made me think about Pat Venditte. Imagine using the left arm for mop-up situations and the right arm for save opportunities. Any chance we get more switch pitchers in the majors soon? Where do these questions come from?
YouTube.
I mean, we got some informative, not even informative, just like, you guys think outside of the box. No, I don't think we're going to see more switch pitchers in the majors anytime soon.
I'm trying to think. There was one though, other than him, right? I think there was
minors.
In the minors, right?
Yeah, I don't think he made it to the majors. No, I don't think you're going to see that, and that problem has gone away. Honestly, the problem that we were complaining about, a guy's not going long in games, it's been resolved.
It feels like the more we complained about it, the more they were like, all right, we're listening to you. Okay, calm down.
We've told you before, Aaron Boone listens to this podcast, but they fixed it. The guys are going longer into games now. They are. I mean, legitimately. So I can't give us credit. I don't want to say that we did this, but, you can give us credit.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think they just really needed to stretch themselves out. But I'm going to say it again. And I said it and said, I'm so impressed with Clarke Schmidt because he's
Yeah.
just really like taking it up to another level.
Yeah.
And
And
he
heal.
has
And heal.
it. Yeah, and he has a little bit of a swagger now because he's like, you know what? I can pitch and I'm going to prove to you that I
The
can. And
confidence
I
is
love
there.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Great point.
I love it so much. It's so great. And I was waiting for this and it's finally here. So I think we're seeing the real Clarke Schmidt. Like, don't expect 8 innings every time, but also don't expect just 5 innings every time. I feel like he's raised it up at least 2 levels at this point. So I'm excited right now. Like, I really am. I feel good about this team. And I know things can change and I
It
know
is
it's
mid-May,
early,
yeah.
but it just feels different to me, and I think that people are gonna be pleasantly surprised by this team by the time the season ends.
I'd hope so, but again, we gotta tread water because it is mid-May.
Yeah.
And we've seen worse collapses.
True, that is true. Okay, coming up next, we'll be previewing the series between the Yankees and the White Sox. They're coming into the stadium to play 3 games.
It's winner take all time in the NBA and NHL, and FanDuel's giving you a shot to bring home a big win of your own. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's it. A $5 bet, and you can turn that into $150 in bonus bets alone. I'll give you one that I like. Denver Nuggets to win the NBA title at plus 120. You're getting the Denver Nuggets, the former champs, 3-time MVP, at plus money to going up against maybe the Celtics, maybe the Knicks. I don't know how you can't justify betting that bet. And if you're a Knicks fan, you'll have a chance to hedge. So it's a really terrific bet. That's $150 to bet on spreads, money lines, player props, and anything. You can bet this money on literally anything. So $5 for $150. Where do you guys not see the benefit here? Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and make every playoff shot count. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube, and now it's also available on the Amazon Fire TV Channels app. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows that are covering every league. You find Locked On Sports Today now available on the free Fire TV Channels app. Stacey, a 3-game set against the White Sox. I never say you should sweep a series. This is one that they should definitely sweep, but definitely you got to take 2 out of 3 here.
Yes. It better not be one of those, kind of like let down after a good series kind of thing against a bad team.
No. It's funny. I could start making up start times and you'd believe me because of how crazy they are lately. But Friday night, 7:08 start time. No, it's 7:05, but I could have said 7:08 and you'd believe me because that's a weird time.
Well, Toronto's 7:07 all the time for some reason.
No one understands it. Nestor Cortez, somehow 1-4. I don't know how. Is he 1-4? Really?
Yeah.
1-4 with a 4.02 ERA. He's going up against Mike Clevenger. I can't believe he's a White Sox now. He's 0-1 with a 5.40. Boy, Clevenger came into the league with such promise, throwing so hard, looking like one of the top tier pitchers in Major League Baseball, and fell off. So that's a really weird storyline. Going up against Nestor, who's had a lot of really good starts this year, and he's probably put together, other than his Clarke Schmidt start yesterday, 2 of the more impressive starts for the Yankees this year, and somehow his ERA is the highest in the rotation. Stacey, can he keep the line moving against the White Sox?
I would like for him to do that. Hopefully we didn't just jinx him. He'll give up a home run in the first inning. We'll be like, oh man, that was us. Sorry.
That plan worked last series, so.
My bad. My bad, Nestor. Saturday afternoon, a 1:05 start. That's a normal start. Luis Heel, who has the opposite record, 4-1 with a 2.51 ERA against Brad Keller, who's 0-1 but has a 2.84 ERA.
Yeah, he's been one of the better pitchers for the White Sox this year. And Luis Heel, let's see how he can keep being effective with that electric fastball, because it's proven to be now one of the better fastballs in all of baseball. Let's see if he can continue to be effective with that, because he's been great. No other way around that. He's lowered the ERA. It's in the 2.5s now, and we're a month and a half in. This is not a fluke where we're 2 starts in. We're a month and a half in, and he's been awesome. He's pitched at least 6 innings in his last 3 starts, dating back to May 1st against Baltimore. You can't fake those numbers. Like, that's at this point, he's proving himself.
That was the only win that the Yankees had in that series when Luis Gil pitched. So, yeah, Sunday afternoon, 1:35 start, Carlos Rodon against Chris Flexen. Rodon is 4-2 with a 3.31 ERA. Flexen is 2-3 with a 4.46 ERA. My question, fastball slider combo?
I'd hope. This is another game that Rodon could just go out and just dominate against his former team, by the way. He's looking to prove that he's an ace type pitcher for this Yankee team, and I still think there's a chip on his shoulder pitching in the Bronx, right? He wants to prove to himself that the Yankees did not make a mistake with that contract offer that they gave him, that last year was a fluke, and I think he's doing that. He's doing it so far. He's ingratiating himself with the fan base. He's admitted that he was a little emotional last year, and he let his emotions get the best of him at times. He's been the best pitcher for the Yankees this season so far. I don't care if the ERA is higher than Gil's and everything. He's been their best pitcher, and he's been their ace so far. And when Gerrit Cole gets back, that's going to be a lethal one, too, at the start of a playoff rotation. So I look for Carlos Rodon to dominate again, and especially against his former team, that if you guys got to look at a bad team, I mean, take a look at this White Sox team. They are awful.
Yeah, let's just hope they stay awful.
Yeah.
My keys to the series, just keep winning the series. Like you said, doesn't necessarily have to be a sweep, just win at least 2 out of 3. Because the second key, you beat the teams you're supposed to beat, and the White Sox are one of those teams. You're supposed to beat teams like that.
You can't ever expect a sweep in baseball. You can't go into a series ever saying that they need to sweep. But when it comes to these types of games, these are series you have to win. You don't have to sweep. I understand that. You have to win these series, though. Go in, get 2 out of 3. You're the home team against one of the worst teams in baseball. You're one of the best teams in baseball. Take care of business. That's all you have to do in this scenario.
Yep. And Gleyber's still on a roll. He's looking much better at the plate, and he's coming out of that horrible start that he had, and hopefully he just keeps it up.
Yeah, Judge is out of that horrible start, right? And I feel like that home run against Tampa that Gleyber had last weekend, that can really rejuvenate someone. That can really light a spark in someone. And you saw how the team gathered around Gleyber and how happy they were for Gleyber when he got that hit. Well, that's what Gleyber's an emotional guy. You know, Gleyber's a streaky guy too. So if a hit like that can get him going, right? If a home run like that can get him going, you saw how long he went into the season without a home run. He finally gets the home run. Then he starts hitting a little more, and then he gets the big home run in a big spot, in a clutch spot. Let's see this keep rolling. And again, good opportunity to do it against a bad baseball team.
Yep. One more time before we end the week, don't forget to join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. There's a link in the description below and a 14-day free trial. You get texts from us. You can text us questions for Fanmail Friday, just like today. So a week from today, you could do that. And if you don't want to join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club, what is wrong with you? I'm just kidding. You can leave questions under the pinned comments on our videos Monday through Thursday. And you can catch the Yankees hometown broadcast on SiriusXM by downloading the SXM app and searching for Yankees. So coming up next week, obviously, we'll recap the series against the White Sox. The Yankees will be welcoming the Mariners to the Bronx. And of course, we'll be updating you about what's happening on the farm for Miners Monday. So that's going to do it for this edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gatsoulias.
And I'm Brian McKeon. We'll see you guys next week.